whatever your hands find to do it. You sold mandazi.
Yeah. I became a photographer.
Became a hawker.
Yeah.
You became a photographer. You washed toilets and windows.
Yeah. So anytime my salary went up, I would say to myself, last financial year, I survived with this amount. And now there's 30,000, you know. So I'm going to send a message to all these people, including you. We need a deposit of 2 million.
Thank you so much for joining us and walking this journey through Larry's life. In case you're just joining us on this video, I want you to go back, because there's just some beautiful, beautiful nuggets and an amazing, powerful story of Larry's journey. And so we are not yet done. We have kind of just started getting to the meat of it. I want to go back a little bit. We'll come back to Crawford, but let me just go back a little bit. And a question that I hear people asking, as in Larry, you didn't, when did you splurge? Like, did you ever get to the point where you're just like, let me go to Steers or to Kenchik or McFry's as it is today and just eat kukusama?
Good question. There's a time for everything. A time to sow and a time to reap. A time to cry and a time to laugh. I knew the time would come, and I had learned the principle of delayed gratification. More often than not, when we receive a bumper harvest or we receive a windfall, we suddenly want to use it. Many of my friends and colleagues rushed to buy cars, and it was okay for them. Others rushed to buy televisions and so on. But I always worked on investing first because I knew that the right time would come. I did my best as I could to invest before anything. It doesn't mean I never spent time for fun. It doesn't mean I didn't enjoy life. It doesn't mean I was so hard on myself. We still had time for fun. We would go for picnics or do potluck. You know, we would go to the Arboretum with friends on potluck and spend very little money. We would play games, we would sing, we would jump, we would have all this fun. And where I would draw the line was on spending beyond my budget.
So how did you do that? Because, I mean, I remember somebody asking me, like, this year, hey, like in Rina, how do you manage the pressure of driving the car that you have? Like, it's a real story. How do you manage the pressure of driving the car that you have and from those who are your friends? And so that's the question I have for you. Not so much about the car, but this shoebox. You told us about your friend mocking you. And it's not just the shoebox, you're walking. It is the fact that you're going for picnics and you don't want to do anything else, right? You had a boundary where your spending was concerned. How did you manage the social pressure from your friends?
Good question. The pressure was real. You know, I would visit friends and see them. So very few of them wanted to come to my place because they wouldn't fit. I remember there's a girl I liked at that time. I visited her. She had this cozy 1-bedroom house. And then she said, Sasa, next we are coming to your place. And when she came to shoebox, oh my God, there was no window. She could ask me, hey, apata una breathe? Then I would be like, as you can see, you know. She never came back.
She never came back?
But she did years later.
Okay.
But I'd moved on. Yeah, she never came back. I think that shoebox was a turn-off for her. And that's how I lost the then woman of my dreams. I have no regrets. Anywho, yeah, so that was it for me. One of the things that has always worked for me is plan. I have what I call an annual plan.
Please, this one you have to tell us. Oh my gosh, every year.
Yeah.
You know, Larry used to call me and tell me, now this year, by the end of this year, I will have this, I will have invested this in these shares, I will have done this with bonds, I will have done, and then you do it.
Yes.
In fact, I asked you that question the other day. Tell us about it.
Yeah, so the annual plan for me is a document that I develop every year from 40 days to the new year. I start sometimes towards the end of November. And at some point, I asked myself, what are the key things in my life? And so I managed to group them into different groupings or sectors. So for me, it was about my faith, about...
Before you go into the detail of the different pillars, what's that process? Like, how does it start? What do you do?
Yeah, for me, I think it's the vision. I always know where I want to be. So I could always ask myself, what do I want to be where do I want to be in the next 1 year, in the next 5 years? And so that has assisted me in delayed gratification. And so when I asked myself that, I know everything that I want to do.
So do you go on a retreat? Do you pray about it? Is it a fast? Like, how does it work?
Pretty much a mixture of all, but that's the thing. If you spend a lot of time thinking about what you want, then you are in a much better place when you finally get there. Because when going to work, when talking to friends, whenever you are, I would think of the things that I want to achieve the following year and write them down.
Okay.
And write them down. So the trick for me is write down what you want to do, where you want to be. I would look at it and say, oh, shares. I have these shares from this bank, and they are 50,000. By the end of the year, I want to be at 100,000.
Yeah.
And that is actually what helped me develop this annual plan. So I normally think of everything that I want to do the following year. And that was just within the first 2 or 3 years.
And what are the pillars?
After that, now it was easier.
After you said the first 3 years was?
I would really struggle. Struggle. What is it that I want to do? But now I know the things I desire to do in the next 5 years, in the next 10, in the next 30, and so on. So I asked myself my priorities, and I listed all of them. Then I had probably 40 or 50 things that I needed to do. Then I grouped them. And when I grouped them, the first for me related to my place of faith, church, integrity, honor, giving back to the society, and many other things. And so I named this first pillar G. So therefore, I call it my 4G framework.
Wow.
So anything related, so by the time our telecommunication companies were getting to 4G, I had already gotten there. So for God is for me about my faith, about reading the Word of God, doing Bible study, praying, praising, worshiping, supporting ministry, and so on. So I normally have a couple of lines on that form. For me, it is what, why, when, how, and then what are the results. So if it's under God and it's about Bible study, then I know I want to study 10 Bible plans this year. I want to do it by October. You know, by mid-year, I need to be halfway, and so on. And so at the end of it, I award myself a mark. So usually it's a mark for every line, not every pillar. So under God, probably I have 5 things that I want to do. So those are 5 marks. And I give each of them the same weight, no matter what it is. Whether I want to save 1 million, that is 1 point. Okay. So it helps me treat all of them equally. So the second pillar for me is groups. Groups, this is where I have friends and family. What do I want to do to my family?
The first G was what?
God.
God, okay.
Yeah. The second for me is groups. What do I want to do for friends and family? I was just looking for G's because initially I had friends, family, and other letters. So what I do for groups, how much can I help someone get a job? Wow. I have 10 people every year that I need to help. I look for 10 people whose CVs I need to help edit, especially those just coming into the market. How much can I give? I try as much as possible to pay health insurance for a couple of people, and I say this not to boast but to inspire anyone who'd want to do that. I have other relatives and friends whose health insurance I pay every year, especially at that time the NHIF, which has now moved to the social health insurance SHA, and I try supporting them every year. This has helped me avoid especially the black tax. There are relatives whose medical insurance I pay, and anytime they are sick, they are able to get the whatever they need, because I would probably spend 6,000 a year for a relative, and they are able to, anytime they are unwell, they go to hospital, and that. I also have this desire to assist, be kind to my neighbors. What can I do for my neighbors? What can I do to the cleaners in my office? What can I do during holidays to the security guys in my office, in my compound, and so on? So that for me comes with groups. Can I be of help to my friends, birthdays, singing for them, sending them wishes? So the first two has very little to do with the finances. And then the third for me is gifts or talents. What is in my hand? You know that I'm a poet, so there I have probably write 30 poems this year. Then the other thing, probably write a book, finalize a book. I normally have about 2 or 3 books or 4 at any time that I'm writing. So for that particular year, to focus on this book. Where can I go? Should anybody have an issue? I serve sometimes as an MC. Will I be called to give talks? You know, will I come to inspire a school or a grouping or an investment club somewhere? So all those go under my gifts. And then there's the fourth. That's where more than 50% is growth.
Thank you so much for watching this video. If you have come to the place where you want to either begin your journey with investing or continue, and you want to be able to be consistent and you need guidance and you want to be able to invest consistently, there's numbers on the screen. There's actually one number on the screen, 0759 777 666. Send a WhatsApp message and somebody on our team will get in touch with you. Whether it's stocks or shares, you want to invest in bonds, you want to invest in treasury bills, you want to be able to start your journey in the Oaks Special Fund, whatever that is. And even if you're not too sure where to start, we shall help you. 0759 777 666. Send a WhatsApp message and we will be in touch with you. Whether it is nighttime, daytime, weekend, don't worry. Just send a WhatsApp message. Thank you so much and God bless you. Bye-bye.